everybody, and welcome to part 2 of our income cap and money sort of little live that I'm going to do today. So hopefully you've all had a chance to catch up on last week's and you're now ready to actually blast away that little cap that you've actually played or put on yourself. So first of all, I'm just going to ask you, has everybody now sorted out their purse and their wallet? Is your wallet, hi Katie, hi Kelly, hi Lisa, great for you to join us, hey. So has everybody sorted out their purse and their wallet is our first one. So have you now got it all nice and tidy, got rid of all of your receipts, and is it now full of money for you? And what about your affirmations? Have you started to use your affirmations? So, you know, I am a money magnet, money comes to me effortlessly and easily, and it's safe for me to earn more and be wildly successful. Because what it is, great Lisa, so it's about actually creating habits now. So, and we want to be able to create those habits so that we can begin to change our money mindset, which has actually been kind of ingrained in us from the past. Because this isn't something that you can just magically change. It would be brilliant, wouldn't it, if it was. Hi David, great to see you. I'm going to give you a wave. I like doing this. Hi Dave. So yeah, it's not something we can magically change. It would be absolutely great if we could just do that. But we've actually got to change our mindset for us to change our behaviours. So we're actually going to start doing that now, today. And what I also want to do now is really put it out to you to stop playing small. You know, some of the comments that were on the post last week were about, you know, being small, setting yourself this cap and playing small. I'm going to really challenge you now to start thinking really big. So the first thing, hopefully you've all got sort of some notebook and pen. So what I'd like you to do is actually pull up the number that you set yourself last week. When you did the exercise last week, when you did the money thermostat test, what was the number that came up for you? What was the kind of the income cap that you think you've been placing on your earnings and your money that you've got coming in? What's the cap that you've placed on yourselves? Has everybody got a number? Just pop in the comments below. You don't have to tell me what that number is. I just want you to I just want to know that you've actually got a number. So if you've got your number, then brilliant. It might be actually that it's the number you sort of tend to see all the time, or it might actually be just a number that you just don't seem to consistently be able to sustain. Brilliant. Well done, Lisa. Great. We're going to actually blast that cap away for you today, which is brilliant. Because actually what we're going to be doing, you know, when you think of that number that you've got sort of capped at, or maybe it's the number that you've got in your head that you're used to earning per month or per year, or what you're just used to seeing in your bank account. You know, what's that number? Have you got that number that you just seem to have every single month? We're going to actually now, we want to create that expansion now in your thinking around that number, because now you've actually got that number and it's in your mind. That's what you've capped yourself at. And it's much harder for you to actually earn more whilst you've still got that number, whilst you're still holding on to that number. Now, many of our sort of beliefs, if you like, around money are really from our childhood. You know, they come from our childhood, and actually what they say is that your beliefs have actually been set before the age of 7. And none of it's been done with any malicious intent at all. It's just, you know, what are you used to hearing? What are you used to picking up around you? So, you know, were you always told that, you know, you had to work hard for your money? Were you told that, you know, money was the root of all evil? Or a story that I've heard in the last week was around, you know, that their dad was very well off, very rich, but actually he wasn't a very nice person, and they actually had a much better relationship with their granddad, who didn't have as much money, but he was a really, really lovely person. So can you just imagine what their thoughts were around money as they were growing up? That actually the rich people, the ones with money, weren't nice, and it was an either-or situation. So what I want you to be thinking about now, I just want to start thinking about your childhood, or just imagine that you were watching a movie. That you were watching a movie now with your parents, and they were dealing with money. Just notice how your parents perhaps were about money in that movie. Was there anxiety? Was there worry growing up? Was there disappointment? Was there fighting? Just go back, think back of your own memories about money. Or even actually later on in life, were you passed up for opportunities to earn more money? I just want you to now just have a think about, empty everything out now, and I want you to actually write all of those down on paper. You obviously might have to go off and do that later on, but it's a great exercise now to just completely empty out about your thoughts. What's popped up for you now? If anybody's brave enough to put some comments up, what's popping up for you just straight away when you think about, growing up around money? Does anybody want to be brave enough to comment on that? Pop them down there if you do. If not, it's an exercise for you to do later on, and it's a really important exercise because awareness of where that money cap comes from is actually crucial to you actually expanding that cap and actually blasting it away. So be honest with yourself, just pop it all down. When you've got your notebook later on, just write everything down. All of your memories that you've got. Great, Kelly, so never enough, came in and went straight back out again. That's absolutely perfect. And actually that's a really common one. That's a really common one that, it's you just have enough. You just have enough, so the bills come in, you've got just enough money to pay your bills, and there's not a lot left afterwards. There's never enough to stretch. So just make a note now of all of your what comes up for you when you think about money, because the point is that in order for us to get to the next level of earning and to bring more money to us and to sort of open ourselves up to that, we've got to release those beliefs, and we've got to release something from the past. Growing up, plenty of money, but never squandered. Was it squandered? So you were okay. So you had plenty. So what's the belief, Lisa, that you've got about money then yourself then? So if it was you had plenty, but you always had to be quite frugal with it. You always had to be careful with money. Is that the sort of the beliefs that you've got around it there? But again, it's what are your thoughts around money? Because we have to release those. Yes, carefully spent, perfect. A lot of it around money comes from fear. It comes from self-doubt. It comes from that sort of lacking confidence or expectations from others and what they think that you should earn. So what is it now that you need to release? Just write down, again, if you're brave enough to comment, that would be really useful. But what do you think is the one thing that's stopping you moving to the next level? The thing that you need to release. So I think money is linked to my self-worth. I don't quite think I'm capable or deserve to earn more than I do. Absolutely. And self-worth is the biggest one, actually. It's one of the biggest ones. One, I can absolutely assure you that is just something that is a myth, that you are worthy of earning more. And we're going to actually just start, awareness of that you've got that as a limiting belief is the key to it. And we're going to do an exercise at the end of this session today to actually just sort of clear that up as well. And obviously you and I are picking up anyway, Kelly, and we'll get rid of that self-worth one for you. But that's the One of the main problems is that we just don't think we're worthy of it. But I'll challenge you to think what makes other people worthy. Imposter syndrome, so have the ability to earn a lot but stay in the safe zone. So what's that saying to you, Lisa, about, is that something from the past that you've got there that, is keeping you in that safe zone? I want you to now start, I'm going to challenge you now, and we'll challenge you on the visualization that we do, to really start now stepping out of your comfort zone and start thinking big. Because actually, money, as we talked about before, money is just energy. And it's really about the actual amount of money. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. But what we're doing, we're blocking ourselves at the moment earning more. We're blocking ourselves actually earning more by setting that cap and stay in our safe zone. So I'm really going to challenge you to think big from now on. Maybe using kids as an excuse. In what way, Lisa, do you use the kids as an excuse? As in that they keep you in the safe zone, you can't afford, you don't want to step out of it because of the kids? What's the reason using the kids as an excuse there? So write that all down. I want you to write that all down. What do you think is the thing that's stopping you personally moving to that next level? Because what these are doing now, these are like anchors actually weighing you down. And that constant worry and anxiety over money is just really physically and emotionally draining on the body and your mind. Okay, so for not changing your role. Okay, so that it's an excuse. I get where you're coming from there. Okay, perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so moving on. So your unconscious mind, what we're thinking about there, it's really, really obedient. It stores what it thinks is relevant to us, just to actually make our life easier. And it also likes to follow some really strict, clear instructions. So it's also this part of the brain that stores those negative beliefs, only because we allow it to. So the ones there about, the self-worth and, not changing your role, staying in your comfort zone, they're just the negative beliefs that we're holding on to. But we're just allowing ourselves to do that. So again, I'm going to just challenge you now in a moment to release those. Because actually when we get really clear and directional about what we want to store and what we want to let go of, it does exactly that. Our unconscious mind likes to have clear instructions. So we're going to give it some clear instructions in a moment to actually release those. So I want you to just, give yourself permission to now to let it all go. So I want you to look at your list now. Look at what you've written. So all of the things that, have come up from the past. So all of those limiting beliefs that have come up from the past. When you think about that money movie, what's come up for you? I want you to have a look at that now. And, those ones that what you think is stopping you. What are the excuses that you're using to stop yourself? You're self-sabotaging. So what is it that you're doing to self-sabotage yourself from earning more? Once you've actually got that, I want you to just acknowledge that, you needed that at that time. So anything that any beliefs that we've held on to served a purpose for us at one point in time. So actually, going back to Lisa's example of, you were careful with money. You had money, but you were careful with money. And that would have served you at that point in time. And actually maybe the position about with your children as well. It would have served you at some point. But we're actually going to, or I'm going to give you some permission now to actually release that, to let it go. Because once you realise that, what you've been earning, what you've been spending, and how you've been managing your money is just based on those outdated rules, handed down from generations or, from your family, wherever, or whatever you've picked up. Once you realise that, you can then free yourself to make those new choices. So what I want you to do now is look at your notebook, look at what you've written, And I want you to go over each experience. Go over each experience, and I want you to read it out loud to yourself. You're going to say thank you for that experience. Thank you for storing that for you. But then you're going to acknowledge that you don't need it anymore. It no longer serves you. So say thank you. It no longer serves me. And that you're actually ready to release that belief right now. So you're actually going to go through your book and get yourself your pen. And actually, I want you to say to yourself, cancel, clear, delete. So as you're reading it out loud, you're going to actually, either put a line through it, you can scribble it out. You really want to, go through each one on that list and really, sort of get it all out there and, acknowledge it, thank it for being there, but then do whatever you want to do with that piece of paper. So scribble out each one if that, because I know that for me, I quite like to see the list, see them, and actually it's quite therapeutic to actually cross each one out and know that I've then let it go. Some people actually like to rip the whole piece of paper up, burn it, screw it up, whatever you want to do. But make it a symbolic gesture that you're effectively taking something out of your body and you're throwing it away. You're releasing it. And you'll feel so much lighter and have so much more awareness of the beliefs that's been holding you back, just by allowing you to release what doesn't serve you anymore. And what that's actually doing, it's also now giving you the space to allow you to bring more in. You're actually going to be bringing more to you now by doing that. You're creating that space. So we're going to do a visualization now. And this is actually now to create that psychological match and breaking through that income cap that you've actually set. So get yourselves comfortable. If you're driving, obviously don't do the visualization, but I'm sure you can't do a Facebook Live when you're, listen to a Facebook Live either when you're driving, but get yourself into a comfy place right now. And what I want you to do is, if you can, just get yourself nice and relaxed and close your eyes and take a deep breath. Take a nice deep breath in. I then want you to bring up your number. What is your income cap? What's your number that you wrote down that is your set cap that you've put on yourself? What's that number? Bring it to mind right now. And really think of that number, and what does it represent to you? What does that number represent to you? Do you see a picture? Do you kind of see your printed bank statement? Do you see money going around? What does that bring up for you? I want you to now, as you think about that number that you've got, I want you to just ask yourself, can you acknowledge now that there's a version of you that actually brings in double that amount? Just imagine now bringing in double that amount of money for the same amount of work. Just watch it doubling. So if you're seeing a printed statement, watch that number double now. If you're seeing wads of money, I want you to see double the amount of money for you. So just imagine it now. Just really imagine it. What does it look like to see double the amount of money? Double the amount on your bank statement. What does that look like? What does that feel like, when you imagine that? Just really step into that person now. Really step into that version of you that is earning double, or you're seeing double what's intended for you. Now, maybe it's a little bit uncomfortable for you now, just seeing that number. A relief, brilliant. That's great, that's perfect. I want you to, Carol, keep focusing on that. And I now want you to just enhance that now. Really feel as if you are earning that much money. See it, feel it. Everything you need to do. to really imagine and visualize that money's doubling. Now I want you to double it again. So double that number again. And how is that feeling to you? Double it again and see how high you can go now. How high can you go with that number? Really push yourself now. So maybe again you see your bank account, the money within it, see it going up and up and up. Really expand your mind now to allow yourself to receive those large amounts of money. Champagne all round, brilliant. I'm joining you, Lisa. Yes, please, champagne all round. Brilliant, let's keep pushing it now. Really push it. I want you to expand it even more now. So I want you to see that number doubling again. Really push yourself to the absolute limit now of what you can imagine being paid. Reach that upper limit for you. What else can you do to make that number even higher? Because you're now programming your mind. You're learning new ways of earning that money. More ways to earn money. All these opportunities are going to start popping into your head now about ways that you can earn more money. You're learning new things now. So just watch that income going higher and higher. And these opportunities and ideas of how you can bring in more money start opening up for you. Now really see how high you can go to bring in extra earnings, extra income. Just really now, just push it all in. Really elaborate it on it now. Go to that highest level. Has everybody got that highest level that you can go to now? And how does that feel to you? How does that feel to you? So when you can't go any further, what I want you to do now is think of your current earnings again. Think of your current income or balance on your bank account. That thermostat number that you've had, that you're used to seeing, I want you to think about that number again now. And watch it again. I want you to imagine that number increasing by 10% and 20%. Hi, Elisa. Hi, give you a wave. Think of that number and increase it by 10% and 20%. Now, how possible does that feel right now? Now that you've gone higher and higher, how possible does it feel that you can earn more than what you've currently got? How do you feel about earning more now? Seeing it, maybe 10% more or 20% more. How possible does that feel now? I want you to take another deep breath. Take another deep breath now and open your eyes. Open your eyes. Now, how do you feel now about your original number? Does it feel possible now that you can earn more? Earn more than that cap? Most people now suddenly say that actually it feels great, as actually that earning that doesn't feel as much now because you've stepped out into your higher energy. Some people even say that the thought of doubling it now feels too low for them because they've really stretched themselves. You've imagined what's possible. So I want you to now do that exercise more and more, particularly when you start feeling uncertain, or maybe you've got a sales call coming. This is a great exercise to actually do that. Do it before you do a sales call, for instance. So now just stretch expand your thinking around your number right now. Expand, bring the number so high now that almost bringing it down just means that it's even more possible. So we're training your brain and your mind to expand. So going forward now, self-awareness is absolutely key. So keep on doing these exercises now. So do the one from last week and the one from this week. So what are all your beliefs? What's stopping you? So do that. Ask yourself, I want you to ask yourself, what will happen if you earn more than your energetic income cap? What will actually happen if you earn more? And what comes up for you when you say that? I want you to keep exploring all your money memories and your beliefs from your past. And I want you to give yourself permission now to start earning more. Earn more and more. And I want you to start thinking big now. So if you're currently earning £2,000 a month or £5,000 a month, what's it going to look like now if you earn double that? And really start programming your mind to think much bigger than you are now, because you've been playing small, so we're going to be thinking big. And, do the affirmation exercises that we did last week. So keep on doing those. And actually, if you would like to know more and are interested in removing your limiting beliefs, then please contact me, because I obviously do one-to-one coaching. And also, if you would like to have a PDF of this sort of trainings that I've done with some additional exercises, please just pop a heart comment in the comments, or drop me a message and with your email if you want me to send it over to you, or like I said, pop me a heart in the comments and I will get a PDF of this sent over to you so you can continue your money blasting income cap annihilation gone little exercise. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. I'd love it if you could, pop any further comments on there, and I'll catch you again next week. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. See you. Bye.